Hey, good afternoon. It's your main man, Coach Will. What's happening with you? Good evening. What's happening? What it is? What it look like? So get on down, right? Want to thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'm reading a little bit of scripture, getting through Second Samuel now. Just finished First Samuel, and I don't want to say I feel like an idiot. I read that whole chapter for nothing, but my objective was to find out. Something about, making amends with your adult grown kids. And of course, King David had problems with his adult grown kids. But something, I mentioned the same topic to somebody recently, and they said to me, hey, remember, you had more kids than just them. So, you know, um, through the grace and the love of Yeshua Jesus, I know all my sins can be washed away and wiped clean. And I have felt has indeed giving me a fresh new slate. So I just want to know, do I get like, the butterfly effect where it affect my kids where since the sin never happened, then they have no memory of the trespass. Now, we talking about sin. I ain't getting down like that. I just made some bad choices as a young parent, and most of us do and are caught up and bound by our parents' choices. So I want to set them free, and mend our relationship through Christ, yes, with Jesus. All right, so I'm on Second Samuel, and we know in the First Samuel King David. Well, Second Samuel he just became king. So we're gonna talk about his kingdom and the bad choices he made, decision making, and we're going to get into his kids later on too. So without further ado, let's go to Second Samuel chapter 3. We're going to talk about Abner joining David. There was a long war between the house of Saul and the house of David, and David grew stronger and stronger while the house of Saul became weaker and weaker. And the sons were born to David at Hebron. His firstborn was Amnon of Ahinoam of Jezreel, and his second, Chelib of Abigail, the widow of Nabal of Carmel. So, okay, his two wives, first and second wives, gave him some kids pretty early on. And the third, Absalom, the son of Noach, the daughter of Talmai, king of Geshur, and the fourth, Adonijah, Adonijah, son of Agith, and the fifth, Stephtai, son of Abtal, and the sixth, Ithream of Eglah, David's wife. These were born to David in Hebron. So David got about what? Six kids, six different, children's mothers, right? I'm not gonna call them baby mamas, right? I don't know if that's derogatory, but it has a bad connotation nowadays. But David got six wives, six kids by each different mama. While there was a war between the house of Saul and the house of David, Abner was making himself strong in the house of Saul. Now Saul had a concubine whose name was Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah, and Ishbosheth said to Abner, "Why have you gone into my father's concubine?" Oh, and oh yeah, Bosheth, which was Saul's son, said, "Why have you gone into my father's concubine?" Then Abner was very angry over the words of Ishbosheth and said, "Am I a dog's head of Judah? To this day I keep showing steadfast love to the house of Saul, your father, to his brothers and to his friends, and have not given you into the hand of David. And yet you charge me today with a fault concerning a woman? God do so to Abner, and more also, if I do not accomplish for David what the Lord has sworn to him, to transfer the kingdom of the house of Saul and set up the throne of David over Israel and over Judah, from Dan to Beersheba. And Ishbosheth could not answer Abner another word because he feared him. So Abner just switched up. He said, look, God said, man, that's David runs this, man. I need to be helping David. And Abner sent messages to David on his behalf, saying, to whom does the land belong? Make your covenant with me, and behold, my hand shall be with you to bring over all Israel to you. And he said, good, I will make a covenant with you. But one thing I require of you, that is, you shall not see my face unless you first bring Michal, Saul's daughter. When you come to see my face, oh boy, my readings says good. I will make a covenant with you, but one thing I require of you, this is, you shall not see my face unless you first bring Michal, excuse me, Saul's daughter, when you come to see my face. Then David sent messengers to Ishbosheth, Saul's son, saying, give me my wife, Michal, for whom I paid the bride price 100 foreskins of the Philistines. Right, so Michal was his first wife, if y'all recall, and Saul really had set him up to get killed. So he told him, yeah. He said, David said, King, I don't have all that money. I can't pay you for that big dowry for her. He said, don't worry about it. You just go ahead and kill these Philistines and we'll be straight. David, man, did the job well. And when Saul made the beef, stopped faking with the beef, made it crystal clear, he gave his wife away. And Ishbosheth sent and took her from her husband, Paltiel, the son of Laish. But her husband went with her, weeping, after her all the way to Bahurim. And Abner said to him, go, return. And he returned. And Abner conferred with the elders of Israel, saying, for some time past you have been seeking David as king over you. Now then, bring it about. For the Lord has promised David, saying, by the hand of my servant David, I will save my people Israel from the hand of the Philistines, and from the hand of all their enemies. Abner also spoke to Benjamin. And then Abner went to tell David at Hebron all that Israel and the whole house of Benjamin thought good to do. When Abner came with 20 men to David at Hebron, David made a feast for Abner and the men who were with him. And Abner said to David, I will arise and go, and will gather all Israel to my lord and king, that they may make a covenant with you, that you may reign over all that your heart desires. So David sent Abner away, and he went in peace. Did David get his old lady back? Just then, the servants of David arrived with Joab from a raid, bringing much spoil with them. But Abner was not with David at Hebron, for he sent him away, and he had gone in peace. When Joab and all the army that was with him came, it was told Joab, Abner, the son of Ner, came to the king, and has let him go, and he has gone in peace. Then Joab went to the king and said, what have you done? Behold, Abner came to you. Why is it that you have sent him away, so that he is gone? You know that Abner, the son of Ner, came to deceive you, and to know you're going out and you're coming in, and to know all that you are doing. Woo. So what's going to happen? Maybe Joab is going to murder Abner. Let's see. Chapter 20, verse 25. When Joab came out from David's presence, he sent messengers after Abner, and they brought him back from the cistern of Sirah. But David did not know about it. And when Abner returned to Hebron, Joab took him aside into the midst of the gate and speak with him privately. And there he struck him in the stomach, so that he died for the blood of Asahel, his brother. Oh, right. He had a beef because he killed Asahel when his brother was chasing him down. Remember, Asahel was real fast, chasing him down. He drove his spear all the way through him. Afterward, when David heard of it, he said, I and my kingdom are forever guiltless before the Lord, for the blood of Abner, the son of Ner, may it fall upon the head of Joab and upon all his father's house, and may the house of Joab never be without one who is a discharge, or one who is leprous, or holds a spindle, or who falls by the sword, or who lacks bread. Man, what a curse. Did you hear that curse? You know, man, people nowadays be cussing. Them people be cursing. Let's listen to a curse again. May it fall upon the head of Joab and upon all his father's house. Upon his head and all his father's house. I mean his brothers, his sisters, his mama, everybody. And may the house of Joab never be without one who has a discharge. What is a discharge? Pus, oozing pus wound? Syphilis, gonorrhea? What is a discharge? Or who is leprous? Oh man, it's leprosy. That's horrible. Or who holds a spindle? What's a spindle? I don't know. Or who falls by the sword, or commits suicide, or gets murdered, killed. Or who lacks bread. That means they're going to be poor and hungry. That's a curse, man. So Joab and Abishai, his brother, killed Abner, because he had put their brother Asahel to death in the battle of Gibeon. So what is David? Does he mourn Abner? Let's see. 2 Samuel chapter 3, verse 31. Then David said to Joab and to all the people who were with him, tear your clothes and put on sackcloth and mourn before Abner. And King David followed the bier. They buried Abner at Hebron, and the king lifted up his voice and wept at the grave of Abner, and all the people wept. And the king lamented for Abner, saying, should Abner die as a fool dies? Your hands were not bound, your feet were not fettered. As one who falls before the wicked you have fallen. And all the people wept again over him. Then all the people came to persuade David to eat bread while it was yet still day. But David swore, saying, God do so to me and more also if I taste bread or anything else till the sun goes down. And all the people took notice of it, and it pleased them, as everything that the king did pleased all the people. So all the people and all Israel understood that day that it had not been the king's will to put Abner to death. To put to death Abner, the son of Ner. And the king said to his servants, do you not know that a prince and a great man has fallen this day in Israel? And I was gentle today, though, anointed king. These men, the sons of Zerah, are more severe than I. The Lord repay the evildoer according to his wickedness. That's some more cursing. All right, let's move on to chapter 4. Woo! 2 Samuel chapter 4, we're going to talk about Ishbosheth meeting his end. Dun, dun, dun. When Ishbosheth, Saul's son, heard that Abner had died in Hebron, his courage fell, and all Israel was dismayed. His courage fell. Now, Saul's son had two men who were captains of raiding bands, the name of which one was Banah, and the name of the other was Rechab, sons of Ramon, a man of Benjamin from Beeroth. For Beeroth also is counted part of Benjamin. The Beerothonites fled to Gittaim and have been sojourners there to this day. Okay. Jonathan, the son of Saul, had a son who was crippled in his feet. Right. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, Jonathan had a son. Jonathan, the son of Saul, had a son who was crippled in his feet. He was 5 years old when the news about Saul and Jonathan came from Jezreel, and his nurse took him up and fled. And as she fled in her haste, she fell and became lame. And his name was Mephibosheth. Okay. So his son was Ishbosheth. Saul's son was Ishbosheth. Saul's grandson was Mephibosheth by Jonathan. I guess he kind of named him after his uncle, Ishbosheth. Okay. Verse 5. Now the sons of Ramon and Beerothite, Rechab and Benai set out. And about the heat of the day, they came to the house of Ishbosheth as he was taking his noonday rest. And they came into the midst of the house as if to get wheat, and they stabbed him in the stomach. These his captains. When Rechab and Benai, his brother, escaped, then Rechab and Benai, his brother, escaped. When they came into the house, as he lay on his bed in his bedroom, they struck him and put him to death and beheaded him. They took his head and went by the way of the Arabah all night, and brought the head of Ishbosheth to David at Hebron. And they said to the king, here is the head of Ishbosheth, the son of Saul, your enemy, who sought your life. The Lord has avenged my lord, the king, this day on Saul and on his offspring. But David answered Rechab and Benai, his brother, the sons of Ramah, the Beerothite, as the Lord lives, who has redeemed my heart, as the Lord lives, who has redeemed my life out of every adversity. And when one told me, behold, Saul is dead, and thought he was bringing good news, I seized him and killed him at Ziklag, which was the reward I gave him for his news. Now, how much more when wicked men have killed a righteous man in his own house, shall I not require his blood at your hand and destroy you from the earth? Destroy you from the earth. And David commanded his young men, and they killed them and cut off their hands and feet and hanged them beside the pool at Hebron. But they took the head of Ishbosheth and buried it in the tomb of Abner at Hebron. Man, lot of action there, boy. Can't nobody say the Bible is boring. That's faux show. So look, that's just a quick 18 minutes. We're going to follow back up on chapter 5, and tomorrow, or even later, I don't know, later today. But there's some exciting stuff going on, and again, we see why we need Jesus, because man just kills, maims, wounds, destroy, hurts each other, no matter what. We need the grace, the love, the redemption of Yeshua Jesus. All right, I'm just encouraging you to make sure you get your prayers in, read the scripture, listen to the scripture. If you got problems reading, one day make it your mission to read. Pray for that. If you struggle with reading, fall asleep, it's boring, blah, blah, blah. Hey, don't worry. You're not the only one that's been there. Pray. Ask the Lord, man, to help you with your scripture reading. Help you with listening to the scripture. In the meantime, you can put it on while watching the basketball game, watching the football game, commuting to work, whatever. You can multitask. It's okay. Just make sure you listen to it a couple times. Something that's key that the Lord wants you to know, you're going to get it. Just do your part. A lot of us making decisions about, our spiritual life. Just want you to make a decision with all the knowledge, all the information that the Lord has for you through his word, right? Don't make a bad choice, an uninformed choice. Remember, a lot of the scripture is not really a cognitive lesson. It's not like reading a Harry Potter book. There's a lot of spiritual discernment that comes through. So what does the Lord want you to do? He wants you, wants us to read his word, read and learn about him through his word. We see a lot of war right there. But once you understand, yes, with Jesus, man, what his mission was, you understand God really loves us. Pray. If you have problems praying, man, I feel stupid when I pray. The scriptures say, hey, pray to God to help you with your prayer. So he understands what's in your heart and he understands your grumblings and he'll help you. So pray for that. If you have problems, reading the Bible, pray for that. Ain't got to be no complicated prayer. You ain't got to sound like T.D. Jakes or nothing like that. And worship up and give praise and give thanks, right? So love you, bless you, Baruch. Oh, you don't need to like. I mean, likes are cool, but hey, look, I'm not going to never get enough likes on this subject matter to get a check from YouTube. But look, share. It's important that you share. Share the videos. Share them. Somebody in your circle, somebody that you know, been asking questions about the Lord, and they want to know. Just ain't had no discussion with you, and you don't know. All right, but you can be his tool, right? All right, do that, be that, love you, bless you.